am back with this paper pack from Decoupage Queen, and I ordered mine from the rubberbuggy.com, and they sent this to me for my design team project. So I get to choose, and then they send it to me. So this is one of the items I chose to use this month. And I am going to also be using with this project today, these butterflies. And I've opened them and I put that one on the wrong, it's supposed to be on this side. But this is, let me fix that so you can see what it's called. This is the Tim Holtz, let's see, Tim Holtz Alterations. And it is thinlets. I don't see the actual name for this one. Probably looking in the wrong spot. But it's these, the butterfly ones. There is a number up here. Let's just pull this out so we can take a look at it together so I can maybe help you. It's called Detailed Butterflies, if that's what it is. The Detailed Butterflies, and there's the number for it, 661802. But I think if you look up Detailed Butterflies, but I'm also going to link it below so that you don't even have to look it up. I will link it below at therubberbuggy.com, and that's where I got mine from. And they have good prices for their dies there. And so I did receive this as part of my design team project, but I also do add things to my orders when I am ordering from them because they do have good prices and they have a lot of good products. So I don't know which butterfly I'll use today, but I do know that I want to start out with, let's find it, this sheet of paper. So if you have not seen the video before this one, I do a flip through of this paper pack, and it's just a quick little video so that you can see what this paper pack has in it, because I'm not familiar with the Decoupage Queen. I've started seeing it when I started shopping at the Rubber Buggy, and I love their images and the things that they offer, and so I wanted to try it. Their paper is different for me, so I have not cut into it. I don't know how it's going to be, but it's a little thinner than some paper packs. But also, I have to say that it's got a shiny film to it. So I don't know how it inks or anything, but we're about to find out together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut these out, and then I'll come back and we'll be ready to decorate them all up. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've just fussy cut out all of these tags, and I used my large scissors to do the straight lines, and then the smaller parts, like on the tops of these, I went ahead and used my fussy cut scissors, and I will link to these below as well. They're in the shop as well. So then I have this sheet where I'm just going to cut this square out here, and I'm going to use the back side, and I'm going to cut out some butterflies. So I'm going to use these butterflies and cut them out. So I want to show you real quick with these dies. You have one that has, if you turn it over and you look with all the design, and it's all raised up, it's going to cut all of that out. So this is going to be my solid color. Now the one that just cuts out around the edges, it still has the design here, but it's not going to cut that out. If you can see, it doesn't have the raised up part there, it's flat. So it's going to cut the solid. I want to cut my solid out of the paper that I want to show through. And then this will be cut out of my plain paper that's going to frame it. So I'm just going to cut a few butterflies. So this little tool I got from the Rubber Buggy as well is a really good little way to work with these type of dies that has the little bitty edges like that. This makes it so much easier to clean them out. So I wanted to show you that to you, and I will link it. If they still have some in stock, I'll link to it. I got mine back close to Christmas, I think. And so I will show you though, I will link to that if it's in stock, because this really comes in handy to clean these out. And then it comes with a little tool here that you can just poke out the ones that's still hanging around, but it's normally not many. So there we go. And these dies are really good. So here is that. So let's just lay this aside. I'm going to dump that in my scrap bin, or my little trash bin, I guess I should say, not scraps. They're too small to be scraps. And here are all of our butterflies. So I cut these purple ones out of the paper pack, and they cut really easily. And I turned the paper over, so I had some to cut on the lighter side, and then I cut some on the darker side. Let me see. You can kind of tell with the way the paper curls over. And let's see here, I think that one, maybe that's how they were. So I do like those. So I'm just going to have to match them up and just glue my little butterflies up first. So let's glue those up before we start decorating our tags. So I'm just going to use my craft glue and a small paintbrush, and I'm just going to paint a little bit of glue on this butterfly. Just going to get a little bit on him. You don't need a lot of this glue. This glue is really good. This is the Stamperia craft glue. I don't know if I said that at the beginning or not. Sometimes I forget if I told you what something was or not. Sorry if I repeat myself. I'm filming several videos today, so sometimes I forget if it was in the video before that I explained what I was using or if it's in this video. I have certain days to film, and I try to film several in one day. By the time I get to certain projects, I can't remember what I've told and what I hadn't. I'm almost time for a break. Take a little break. So let's see. Oops, I about ripped it with my finger. These are very fragile little butterflies, as you can tell. So now we're just going to glue that on top there. Got a little glue showing, so I'm just rubbing it off real quick while it's still wet. I'll line all that up. There we go. These may be a little bit more fussy than some, but they're very pretty when you get done. And so see, now let's do one with the lighter colors so you can kind of see the contrast it has when you use the lighter colors. I think that belongs to him, right? Nope. Let's take this one then. I think that's his. So one of the butterflies is wider and one is like narrower. So that's really the difference in them. So you just want to put a light coating of glue on there. You don't want to have a lot. It's not going to take much of any of these glues to hold it down. The art glitter glue, this glue, barely art glue, any of those are going to really hold it good. So you really don't have to use a lot. Just getting the edges lined up. So you kind of see the contrast there now. So these are very beautiful butterflies. So I'm just going to work on one more, and then I'll be right back and we'll add these to our tag. We'll start decorating tags. I think I'm going to have to go cut out some more, but I just want to work with these for a few minutes and see. So I think it would be fun to fussy cut some of the pieces from this piece of paper, because there's so many different things on here, so that we can add them to our tags along with our butterflies. There's also some butterflies, so we could use these in place of, and not use die cuts on all of them. So I'm just going to go through and fussy cut some of the images out. Like here, I'm probably just going to fussy cut the bird out. I might take the whole circle, and then I'll cut out this little card and maybe some of these flowers, and then we'll use those to decorate our cards, or our tags. Okay, so I have all of my tags cut out, and then I have a lot of pieces fussy cut from that page, as well as my butterflies. And I've gone ahead and tested some glue on these tags just to see how they'll do. And I also tested writing on the paper. Let me show you on the spot here. I've already wrote my name here and tested it. But I tested it and it doesn't smear. Even though it's slick, I was concerned how the ink would do and if it would smear, and it doesn't. And then I'm just using a Sharpie gel pen. That's what I like to use in my journals. So that one did not smear, so that's good news. So I just wanted to test it out since I've never used this paper before. And I have a lot of bits and pieces laying on my desk here that I am using that I'm going to use on these. I've got some black lace and some white lace, and I've already tried lace on these. So I made two little tags just to test it out and make sure the glue and everything worked good on this paper, and it does. I just wasn't used to the shiny paper, so let's take this largest tag here and let's see. Maybe this is some of the flowers I just fussy cut from that one sheet. And I love how all those were on one sheet. And I love to cut those apart like that to use them. You could use the whole page, but I really liked just cutting it apart and using it for all the bits and pieces. So I'm thinking of adding the black lace there. I'm just going to do a very thin line of Fabri-Tac, because this lace is very thin and has a lot of little holes in it. So I don't want my Fabri-Tac showing through. If I got the right side. Okay. That just wasn't enough glue on that. It's too thin of a layer. Maybe where it's warm in here too, it may be drying under my lights very quickly. So let's just get that on there. Okay, so then we'll just add this flower here, and I think I'm going to use, if I can find it, a little bit of black ink to ink my flower around my flowers, just to add a little kind of shadow around them. I thought these were very pretty, the page, so I just cut them out and put them on this. I love all the prints and designs on these tags. You could just use these tags as is, but you know me, I'm always wanting to decorate up just a little bit more. And then we have our butterfly. And I had thought about using some dots to raise these up, but since these are going to go in pockets in my journal, I don't want to have anything sticking up too much. Now my butterfly wings I am leaving up, but when I put them in a journal, if they're in the way, then I will press them down and glue them down, because I can always put a little glue up underneath them if I need to. And so there's another simple little tag, very quick and simple. Let's see here, let's make another one. There's a chair. Or how about this one for the chair? Let's see. I need the tag to be tall enough for the chair. I did cut this chair out. Let's see. Kind of want to, I may just put the chair on there and then have that hanging off like that. And then maybe a little piece of lace underneath. What if I took this piece of lace and I'm just going to trim it down. Let me just tear it and see what it does for the ragged look. Kind of like that. And we'll just add it to the bottom here. I love quick little projects that you can just put together and not have to do a lot for. And that's what one of these, I think, it's just really gathering your supplies, gathering your lace, gathering your, cutting out your pieces, and that's about it. Even at that bottom there. Do I have that turned right? Maybe. Okay, and then I think I'll just add this over top. I do want to ink it as well, just ink around the edges. Kind of smudge it up like that, kind of give it the more vintage look to it. And so I was going to cut these flowers off of this card, but I loved how they were sticking out from it. So I thought that would be perfect to add. I may have to come back with some Fabri-Tac. I don't know if this is going to stick good to that lace. We shall see. Let's just put a little Fabri-Tac under there because I worry that it won't stick. I probably always add too much glue to everything. I'm always afraid things aren't going to stick. I want them to be permanent. And there we go. Then we'll just add the chair on top. And I'm not going to ink the chair, I'm just going to leave it as is. I liked it how I like how it looks. I left a little border around it when I cut it out. And I just like how it looks here. Then having the, oops, let me slide that up just a little bit. Maybe add a little bit more glue since I did that. I don't want the feet hanging off, they'll get bent. I want them to be in line with the bottom of the tag. We'll have to go through and punch holes in the top of them when I get done. And I may just add some lace to the top of them. But let's finish decorating them up before we do that. This one I got to even up where I cut out a circle. I think a lot of times if you're not great at cutting out circles, if you ink it, it kind of covers up the bad cutting too. So let's see here. I think I'm going to do that one there like that. And then this little butterfly on top. And do I want to add another piece of lace? Maybe like that. So yeah, let's add that lace. Oops, drop my glue over. Okay, let's get the right side. I think that's it. And I'm just hanging it off the bottom. If you'll notice, this one goes up and over. I like that. I don't mind that it's not like it's not straight across the bottom. I like that look. I think this one here. Oops, that's not good. I'll have to wipe that off. Just wipe that off real quick. That on there. Let me just wipe this glue off here with my glue eraser. Being gentle not to take the ink off my page. Put a little bit of Fabri-Tac at the bottom here. There we go. Got the little birdie on there. And I am debating on trimming that off. I think I will. I like that. I like that. And then, let's see. We had a butterfly, I think, to add. I'm not sure where he went, so we'll just try. That one's not dark enough. Not sure which butterfly I want to add. That one might work just fine. Or the darker one. I like the darker one. Let me bend it right here. Okay. If you wanted to, you could add so much more to these, but I think it's just fun to do a little simple one since these are just going to be tags in our journal. That hole looks small enough that this would work. I'm going to have to find a hole punch for some of these because some of them don't. They have larger holes. I want to figure out how I'm going to punch those. So then we could take a little bit of this. Just trim it off. Well, kind of like that. These are a lot darker than anything I normally do. Normally I do a lot of lighter colors, but I like this darker look. So we have two more to go. Let's see what we want to do to these. What all do we want to put on them? This one might be cool to have this. And then the butterfly. I also have this little card here that we could put behind it. And then the butterfly on top. I think that's plenty for that. And you could even do a little lace along the bottom underneath it. We could do that. just a little bit of lace hanging down. I'm going to put a shadow around this as well. And I think I'm just going to leave it hanging off like that. I kind of like that. So, oops, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add this card underneath. It's still wet, so I can still add it real quick. Just slide it down there. There we go. A little ticket, I guess you should say, not a card. And then we'll stick our butterfly on there. And then we have one more, but I've run out of fussy cuts. I may have to see if I can find something to fussy cut, because that kind of blends with it. And this butterfly could go on there, but kind of blends as well. Not sure for that one. Let's take a look and see what we got left on the page. Everything's too big. This one could be fairly simple with just a butterfly and maybe some lace. I never really put anything straight, so that would be different for me to just put that straight there. But I kind of like it, so that's what I'm going to do. And this one I did a little different from the rest, this butterfly. I kind of like it because those pieces are sticking out from behind it. But this one I did a little different because I cut the top with the design paper and the black is behind it. Just add a little bit more glue right here. There we go. So that's a very simple one. Okay, so I was punching the holes for this one. I thought I would show you a quick fix. I tried to punch it out with my hole puncher and see if I could get it bigger. Totally messed it up. So it's not all lost because we can just choose one of these to go on it. Let's try the gold. We can just, oops, that one's got a little ink on it. Let's take that one off. So we can just take it and add it to the hole there. And I'll just do that to both sides, and it's back to being pretty again. So don't just throw it away if you think you've messed up. You can always fix it, add something to it. Then I'm going to go through. Some of them I think I'll put ribbon in, and others I think I will leave like it is. I think I will add, I love that look, so I think I will add different ones. Let's see here. It's kind of a rose gold color. I think that looks good on this one. There we go. And this one, maybe a copper. I don't know. Let's just try it and see. There we go. And these are just from Amazon. They're just little reinforcement labels for your papers. This one, what color should we put on this one? Thinking of gold. Yes, that looks good. And this one, let's punch a hole and right in the center. And then we'll just cover up that extra with, I'm thinking the gold again. There we go. Well, I enjoyed playing with this pack of paper. I think I've got a lot more left. I've only used, let's see, I used well, I've got this much left of the second sheet, so I used this part of the sheet with the tags, and a little square off of one of the other ones. So I've got quite a few more sheets left, so I'm sure there'll be another project coming up using this paper. But for now, I think this has been a good little crafting session, and I have enjoyed playing with this paper and with these, making these tags, and I hope that you have enjoyed them and that it has inspired you to create something, and maybe you gave you a little spark, a little idea of something you could create. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.